Welcome back to another episode of Everyone Has a Story, hosted by Kam and Cody. And I think this one is the first one where we actually don't have any guests.
Yeah, it is. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. Isn't there a song like that or something?
Yeah, there probably is. It's
Just
old.
the two of us.
Yeah.
No, it's Cody's got a busy schedule. I've got a busy schedule, but we decided it was time to talk about ourselves.
Yeah.
Introduce ourselves, let the world know who we are. We're on I just uploaded episode 13.
And we have one more sitting there waiting, right?
No,
That is. So this is 14.
Yeah, this is episode 14. It's crazy that we're already at that point.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like we've done that many.
Just started it yesterday. But, I don't know. I guess I kind of forgot that we just never.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had that very first one with me, you, and Jackson.
Yeah, and you weren't even a co-host at that point.
I was just
This was just a
random stranger.
Just random stranger. No, but that's what we want to talk about tonight is just the podcast and why we started it, who we are. Cody came on as a co-host a little bit later, but not really. Like Cody was on dang near every single one.
I've been on but all of them but one.
Yeah. And so, my idea was, I kind of did a short clip when I decided I wanted to do the podcast, but, I travel a lot for work and I kind of decided, hey, start listening to some podcasts instead of Lady Gaga and all these other dang songs out there. But so I started listening to some podcasts and I'd start 5 minutes into one and I couldn't jive with it.
Yeah.
So then I'd stop it and then I'd try and get another one and then I wouldn't jive with it. And then I'd start another one. And I just couldn't ever grasp a good podcast. So I'm like, you know what? People do it out there. I'm gonna start it. And at that time I was a jackwagon and didn't even invite anybody else to jump on with me. I was like, I'm just gonna freaking do this thing. And so kind of decided what I wanted to do it about. And we'll get into more details here in a bit, but we recorded the first one, then right after the first one, and Cody got his jitters out.
Yep.
He texted me, he was like, dude, if you ever want to co-host, I'm the man.
Well, and I'm even to this day, my wife's surprised I do it. I don't like talking in big groups.
Yeah.
I mean, most people would probably say I'm pretty quiet.
Yeah.
But I guess this is helping me get me out of my shell and talk to people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll sit and talk to anybody about certain topics, but
Fair,
fire, football, cows, the stuff I've grown up on that I feel I know enough of that I can carry on a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, so I molded over for a little bit and I just thought it'd be more fun to have the pal Cody on here, and Cody had a desire and I really wanted this thing to go places, and I think you do too.
Yeah, I'd love to see this blow up and put us on the map a little bit for Franklin County.
Yeah. Yeah, Franklin County and really across the nation. Just, because what I kind of started basing this off of, and we're still shaping it into what we want it to be, I think. But, what I originally wanted was to have it be something along the lines of helping other people. Everyone has a story. I was telling my wife earlier that, when I go through a hard time or I struggle or whatever, I start running my mouth. Like that.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I've dealt with it.
Yeah, you've dealt with it.
Yeah, I've dealt with it on many occasions.
But you get the phone call from me and I just want to talk and talk and talk. And that's the stuff that makes me feel better is talking about it.
Yeah.
And hearing, I want people's advice. I want to hear, what I really want to hear is I've been through that too type of deal, or I feel the same way. And then it connects and I'm like, okay, here we go. And that's how I bleed it off. So kind of went through obviously the AI channels and got some good ideas for a title, but the one that stuck out the most was Everyone Has a Story, because it's true,
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that have done great things or have gone through hard times, and most people never get to hear about it.
Yeah.
This gives them an opportunity to come and talk to somebody, and I don't know, it's almost like therapy.
It is.
Kind of get some stuff off your chest, be able to talk to people that may or may not have gone through the same thing, but just a different outlook and look on things
Yeah.
of what you're going through.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know, like, everyone truly does have a story, but nobody knows about it,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's all too common these days for people to think, "Oh, that person doesn't have it bad," or "This
Yeah.
person doesn't have it bad," like, they've got it so good, but what's really happening between the lines?
Mhm.
What's really going on?
Yeah.
And
Everybody's got something they're dealing with.
yeah.
I mean, even anybody you look at, they've got
Mhm.
something that, they usually just keep to themselves.
Yeah.
Don't talk about, don't have a place to talk about.
Mhm.
And that's kind of why I was interested in this is it gives people that outlet.
That's what I was gonna ask you
I
is
mean,
after the first
mm,
podcast, what made you just decide you wanna try
I don't
it?
know. Once you started talking about some of the guests you were having, and some of the things they've gone through,
Mhm.
and then just for myself, just having somebody and people to talk to. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I vent to my wife all the time, but she's required, she has to
Yeah.
listen to me.
Yeah.
But to hear what other people are going through,
Right.
ideas, I've thought about starting businesses and different things, and we've talked to some people that have done that.
Mhm.
Gives you a different outlook on what you're thinking.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's definitely why we got it
mhm.
going, and I don't know, kinda wanna get into a little bit about us and we've talked about why we're doing it. I think we're gonna expand on it here,
Yeah.
and, Cody and I don't know what we're doing. This is, like, so,
Yeah.
uh, not the
It's
norm.
yeah, we're learning as we're going, but
Normally, we're the guys talking and listening to somebody else's story, and and
yeah.
I are sitting here looking at each other like, "Alright, how are we gonna keep this thing going?"
Yep. Yep. Now it's just the 2 of us. This one flops, there's nobody to blame but us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I don't know, I'll start. So, I grew up in Richmond, Utah.
mhm.
Um, I grew up there for about 15 years, but I lived in about 15 different houses while I was there.
Oh, wow.
My parents, they liked to move from
Yeah.
one house to another in town, but, it was good small town Richmond. I was
Mhm.
able to ride my bike everywhere. We lived in the top of town, and I'd ride my bike down to LD's and get
Yeah.
me a corn dog. I'd ride my bike to school, and I had a lot of memories there, a lot of building the lifestyle there, and as I got older, then my parents decided to make the move to Smithfield, and that was,
Mhm.
like, crazy. I was like, "Oh, I've lived in Richmond my whole freaking life, and you guys are trying to go to Smithfield," but, went to Smithfield, finished high school out
Mhm.
there, and,
So Skyview, right? That was
Skyview.
before the Green Canyon days
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
split.
I graduated the year before they split.
Okay.
They split the year after me,
Mm.
but yeah, so we moved to Smithfield. I finished my schooling out there and graduated and met my wife that summer, and then here
Mhm.
I am married.
Yeah.
But, there's just a lot of things in life that, I've learned, as a child and then, after school. You're always like in school, you're like, this
Mhm.
sucks. This is hard. This sucks. And I'd give anything to go back to
Oh,
school.
yeah, especially high school.
Yeah. Oh,
I'd
yeah.
go back to high school in a heartbeat. There's so many things I would do different. No, if I could go back knowing what I know now
Yeah.
back then. I mean, back then I was just the typical punk kid that
Oh,
couldn't wait to
yeah.
get out, and
Yeah.
life was easy in high school.
Oh, dude, I never thought it was. All through high school, I was like, I
Yeah.
just can't wait to graduate. And now I'm like, oh man, where's that
Yeah. And
rewind
now you
button?
have bills and job and family. I mean,
Stress and
yeah.
sickness and disease. I
I mean,
feel like in high school, like that stuff's covered. You don't
mhm.
think about what.
Yeah, you're not I mean, you're going home, you don't have to pay the bills and
Mhm.
everything. Yeah, you might have a job as a high school kid, but,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, how important really is a job in high school?
No, it's just to take the
Yeah,
woman out.
it's just yeah, date night money or whatever else. I mean, yeah.
Just play money and stuff. But yeah, so met my wife 2018. That's when I met my wife.
No, you were gonna say 20 years ago, and I said, "No, you didn't. You're
No,
not that old."
no, no. 2018 is when I met her, and God, we
Mhm.
dated for 3 months. We're engaged for 2, and married after that, and been married ever
Wow.
since. But we've gone through our struggles, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Mhm.
Between my wife having kidney issues, us losing our first child. There's been times where I thought we wouldn't make it financially.
Mhm.
When I graduated high school, I've mentioned it on podcasts before, but I didn't go to college,
Yeah.
and it's because I was stupid in high school. And
But if you could go back, would you go to school now?
oh yeah,
Would you? For what?
well, I'd actually go to high school.
Well, yeah, but after high school, graduate, we rewind back to when did you graduate? 2020?
Yeah, no,
Young
2018.
guy, 2018.
Hmm.
Would you go to college and what for?
I honestly, if I was being 100% honest, I don't think I would.
Wouldn't?
Mm-mm. I wouldn't even try.
Yeah.
And if I put more thought into it, maybe. I mean, there's things in the back of my mind,
Mhm.
like, funny enough, I wanted to be a nurse at one point.
Nurse Spackman, huh?
Yeah,
I don't know
Nurse
if I could see you
Spackman.
doing that one.
No, I'm serious though. I wanted to be a
Mhm,
nurse at one point. I wanted to be a veterinarian at one point, and then I
mhm.
went and volunteered at the vet, and
And that cured you of that one?
yeah, yeah,
Seeing some of the stuff you have to do as a vet?
watched the first spay, and then had somebody bring a snake in, and I was out of
Yeah.
there.
So small animals what you helped with.
Yeah, yeah, we never
Yeah.
did the big ones. I just volunteered at that one in Richmond across from the old
Okay.
White Pine
Yep.
there for a little bit. I think they did big animals, but I just stayed in the building. They didn't
Yeah.
really bring big animals there. But but yeah, I mean, I did that, and so anyways, yeah. I don't If I could go back, maybe I would go to college, but
But
I
you still don't know
I
what for.
still don't know
You
what
don't know what
for.
you wanna be when you grow up.
No. Well, I do now,
Yeah.
I mean, so I didn't go to college. I tried.
Mhm.
During school, I screwed off so freaking much. Every assembly, I'd bounce out of there. Every class, I'd put my head down and take a nap. I'd come home, throw my
Mhm.
backpack or my homework in my backpack and stash it in there forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
So I just didn't pay attention. I just didn't enjoy it. And then, out of high school, you always get that slice of motivation for a minute where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to college.
Mhm.
So I threw an app in USU and they said, no, thanks. We'll pass on
Yeah.
you.
There's other qualified candidates coming in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, at the time I was working with my grandpa doing internet and
Mhm.
I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So right after I got married, I was like, I've worked with grandpa dang near my whole high school career, this and that. And so I was like, I'm gonna go find something else.
Yeah.
So Valley Implement had a job opening and went and worked for them for a while and worked there for 6 months.
Mhm.
And then I went and I moved to Cedar City, worked for Valley Wide
Yeah.
Agronomics and did some applicating. And then that didn't work out. So I came home, went to construction. Then while I was doing construction, IFA called me and said, hey, we know you have your applicator's license. Come work for
Mhm.
us. So I left construction to go do that. Then after IFA, I was like, okay, I want to start trying to work into being a salesman. Had a position at North Stars, and now I'm at Keelix
Mhm.
and a realtor. But,
So
I went through a million jobs. I didn't
yeah.
know what the hell I wanted to do, man. Like, there's a guy that texts me every time there's a job fair in
Mhm.
Logan. Then he texts me and he says, hey, like, there's a job fair if you want to go check it out.
Go see.
Yeah, it's a freaking side joke. So they make freaking fun of me for switching jobs so much, but it took me a long time to get to where
Yeah.
I wanted to go because I'm indecisive, and I've always wanted to like up my career and do better. And
Mhm.
not that any of those jobs that I was in are bad.
But yeah, I'm always taking a step forward.
Hmm.
And I went through my handful.
Yeah.
I still don't know if I'm where I mean, I love my job right now, but still don't know if I'm at where I wanna
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people out there going through the same thing.
Yeah. I think, well, especially after high school, picking your career and
Mhm.
stuff like that is like one of the hardest things to
Yeah.
do. And you know what? For some people, there may never be a career,
Mhm.
and I don't think that's a bad thing to not be at a
Yeah.
job for 20 years.
Yeah, yeah, some people don't want the responsibility. They just wanna clock in, work, go
Hmm.
home,
Hmm.
and to them, that's the perfect life,
Yeah.
which not knocking them, but there we need people like that in the world.
Yeah. It's true.
Not everybody can be a CEO or who's
Yeah.
gonna do the work.
Yeah. So that's a little bit about me, but I want to hear a little bit about you, Cody, or they do.
Yeah. So, oddly enough, I also first started out in Richmond. So dad was milking cows there with a partner, and, I think I turned 4 when we moved up here.
Mhm.
Moved the cows up here, so all of my schooling's been in Preston other than I did go down to USU after high school, went into animal and dairy vet science.
I knew that,
Yeah.
I think.
So I did that. The plan was to learn all that and take over the family farm, and then I think it was 2012, 2011. Milk prices were in the tank and
Mhm.
dad sold the cows, and I was like, "Well, hell, all I've done is cows. What am I gonna do now?"
Yeah.
So, yeah, started in the job field and was looking around. I mean, I had summer jobs. I've done heating and air for a
Yeah.
buddy, done electrical, done dairy service. I sold for Coca-Cola and
What?
Coors Light.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's one I knew you did electrical, and I knew
Yep.
you worked for dairy systems. I didn't know
Mhm.
you did that.
Yeah, when I got done with the electrical, because it was kinda just a summer help,
Yeah.
trying to figure life out. I went to selling for Coca-Cola.
Hmm.
Met a guy that was selling beer, and he's like, "Hey, I'm leaving. Do you want my job?" I was like, "Yeah, that's a step up. I mean, the pay's a little better." So I went to selling beer. I did that for a couple years, 3 to 5 years. And then my brother actually told me, he's like, "Hey, Valleywide up here is looking for somebody to run the store. You ought to
Yeah.
apply." So I applied and managed the store and the feed mill and a few other things with Valleywide for a couple years, and now I'm outside sales with Country Supplier.
Yeah.
But
And
met my wife in high school. We started dating, I guess, kind of officially 2 days after I graduated in 2008. She had 1 more year. She's a year younger than me. So we dated for 3.5 years, I believe.
dang.
And then we got married. And yeah, we had the same. We kind of talked about it in episode, I think, 3.
Yeah.
We had a miscarriage. And at that time, we found out that it just wasn't in the cards for us to have a
Mhm.
natural born child for the two of us. So we ended up going down the adoption route and adopted Trey in 2019. And now I got a happy, healthy 7-year-old boy at home. And me and my wife have been married since, well, for 15 years. This will be 16 years in August.
Wow.
So
That's a
kind of
so
showing my age there.
married for 16 years and known each other for damn
Yep.
near 20.
Yeah, my wife told me, I think it was last night. She's like, "How do you feel? I've been with you longer or for more than half of my life." I'm like, "Shit, that makes me old." But yeah, so the way she turned out, I guess I'm just as much to blame as anybody else. And she's been with me for more than half her life. But
Isn't that a crazy thing? I've slightly thought about that a
mhm,
little bit, but, like, you're at that point in your life,
yeah,
but, your parents raise you for 18
mhm,
years, and then you go live your own life.
yeah,
Well, most of us do. Some people wait for a while
yeah,
to move out and stuff, but
yeah,
you're living your own life for way
mhm,
longer than your parents even had you
yep,
under their roof.
yep. And I wasn't the easiest. I mean, it caused my fair share of problems through high school.
Yeah, well, you still cause your
But
fair
yeah,
share of
yeah, I
problems,
still
but
stir the pot every now and then. But now it's my wife that has to deal with it, and not the parents. But
yeah.
yeah, we've been together a long time. I mean, I moved out of my parents' house and into a little apartment here in town, and then
Mhm.
we bought a house, and then we sold that one, and we're in the house we're in now. So, I mean, I've lived in 5 homes, not 15,
Yeah.
but 5 homes in my 36
Yeah.
years of life.
Yeah.
2 with my parents, and then 3 with my wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's what I miss though, gal. I bet your mortgage on your first house was cheap, but when Chris and I got
yeah,
married, my first house was the upstairs of a home. It was like a studio apartment,
mhm,
and I kinda like I was working at Valley and I was working on a dairy, and even then, I was 18, no, I was 19,
mhm,
and moved into our first place, and they wanted $300 a month,
yeah,
and I'm like, "Oh, like, that's pretty cheap," but it was still kinda like,
yeah,
"Oh, like, that's the first real thing I had to
mhm,
make payments on." I'm like, $300 a month?
yeah,
Then we moved out of that apartment into another one. I was like, okay, like started actually working, making,
mhm,
okay money because I was out of school so I could work, 40 hours a week or whatever.
yeah,
So I'm like, okay, like let's get out of this tiny little apartment that has no washer and dryer in it, no AC,
mhm.
whatever. And we moved to the island in Logan and started paying $700 a month.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, like
yeah.
this is
That's a lot of
rough.
money when
This
you're
is
first starting
rough.
out.
Yeah. And then, went down and bought our first townhouse in Cedar City, and at that time, I was making, like, $17 an hour,
Mhm.
and I had a $1,200 a month mortgage, and I was crapping
Yeah,
myself, dude. I was like, "I don't even know how we're gonna do this." But now you look at it, and it's like, rent's like
yeah,
$2,500 a month for a
yeah.
tiny place.
I mean, I think, and I could be wrong, and if I am, my wife's the only one that'll know. I think the rent on my apartment that we were in was like 475
Dang.
for like I think it was just a little 2-bed, 1 bath. And then a realtor buddy, he called and he's like, "Hey, I've got this house for sale, 3-bed, 2 bath on like 3/4 of an acre." He's like,
Mhm.
"Your payment would be 525." It's like, well, shit, I'd be dumb not to, for $50 more.
Mhm.
So yeah, my first house payment was 525, and we bought it for under 100 grand in a 3-bed, 2-bath house.
And that same house is selling for
Yeah, it just
310,000.
sold for 310. Yeah, I should have kept it.
No kidding,
But
dude.
at the time, we were able to sell that home, and that's what helped us pay for our
Yeah.
adoption.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, in our situation, I mean, it panned out great for us.
Mhm.
adoption's not cheap. And, yeah, being able to sell that house, all the money equity we made out of that, we were able to roll into our adoption fees and attorney fees and all that stuff. And then we ended up moving to the house we're in now, and
Hmm.
yeah.
And now you're never gonna move.
If it's up to me, I would move tomorrow,
Yeah.
but, I got 2 other people that are affected by that. Trey doesn't
Yeah.
wanna move, he loves the house.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't wanna move because she loves our mortgage and our interest rate,
Yeah.
but one of these days. I just wanna be able to go buy some land, build exactly what I want, and then I'm happy, I'll be done.
It's the American dream right
Yep.
there.
But, I mean, there's a few I like the layout of our house. There's a few things I would change,
Yeah, it's a good
but
layout. But,
yeah,
you know
to have exactly what you want, and I'm
yeah,
sure that would change in 5 years, but
yeah.
yeah.
But that's the biggest thing in this world right now, like, I call you about it all the time, is this,
Mhm.
like, the economy we're in right
Yeah.
now is how in the heck do people do it?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
how do you
I
do it?
I was looking the other day, not that I'm gonna buy, but I was looking at a truck and I mean, if I was to the truck I want, it's $106,000.
Oh my gosh. No
My
thanks.
wife's like, "We paid less for that than our house." She's like, "You'd have to live in it." And, well,
Mhm.
I could for a day or 2, but then I'd need a shower and everything else.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
understand.
crazy.
I remember, like, in high school or maybe even junior high, I was like, "Oh, like, when I get older," at some point in your age, you start kind of
Mhm.
learning how much money is worth and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and I was like, "Oh, like, when I'm an adult and I have a family, God, if I could just make $100,000
Mhm.
a year, I'd be set," and now it's like,
Yeah.
back then you're like, "Oh, I'd have a boat and a mansion and go
Yeah.
on
All these things
vacations,"
that cost more money.
and I just don't know how people are expected to do it.
Yeah. I mean, back my high school job was milking cows on the family farm,
Yeah.
and I got paid $20 to milk. I mean,
Eh
everything else was just considered room and board. But for the 2 hours a day I would milk cows, I'd get 20 bucks. And I thought, man, I was just rolling in it. I always had money to go do whatever. And now if I look at, man, $10 an hour, how do you survive on that with a
yeah,
family?
yeah.
But
That's I don't understand it, like, that's one thing that I always, like, try to wrap my head around is, like, how are we supposed to
mhm,
function? I think that's what makes me stress and have so much anxiety these days, is just, like, you know, you can make as much money as you want, but you're always still just
yep,
stressed out of your mind, I send my wife up to the grocery store to get a couple items for dinner that
mhm,
night, and it's $60.
yeah,
Well, I might as well have went to Big J's and spent
yeah,
35 for
yeah. Let
3
somebody else do it
cheeseburgers.
all.
Yeah,
Mm,
and like fuel right now, diesel's through the roof and
mhm,
stuff, and I remember in high school, I could fill my little Honda Accord up for 20 bucks,
yeah,
and fuel and the price of the houses and price of new vehicles, and it's just like everything's getting so
mhm,
stinking expensive, and I feel like the economy's not following the expenses,
yeah,
and it makes me feel bad because like, I feel it, and I know a lot of other people out there, like, you're just stressed over it all the
mhm,
time, like, there's probably a lot of people that aren't, but, like, me and
yeah,
my mindset, like, I can't just be like, humble's not the right word, but I can't just be content
yeah,
with, like, okay, it is what it is. There's a lot of people out there that are like, I talked to my father-in-law, and he's
mhm,
like, "Oh, like, if I can't buy that, it is what it is, or if we run out of money, it is what it is, or if my
yeah,
house burns down, it is what it is." And it's just like, for me, I'm thinking, if my house burns down, what the freak am I gonna
yeah,
do? If I don't make this much money, what am I gonna
mhm,
do? If I can't afford this, what am I gonna do? And I'm always
yeah,
freaking out of, like, how am I gonna do this? And I can't just, like, enjoy life and
mhm,
be myself. My mind is just always turning, and I can't figure out I've talked to you about this
yeah,
before,
yeah. We've
and
talked about it on this podcast with a few people.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm just kinda bringing it more to light again because it's just like, I feel like a lot of people are that way,
yeah,
but my mind will just never shut off, and I know we've talked about, like, shutting phones off and this
mhm,
and stuff. Like, I've tried all that stuff, and I know you probably don't have an answer, but, like, I'm just telling for the people that might be able to relate to me, like, I get so much anxiety. I wake up with a
yeah,
tight chest. I go to sleep with a tight chest. I can't go to sleep for 2 hours. If I stay up till midnight for some reason because 'cause I'm
mhm,
not tired, well, then I go lay in bed and I don't go to sleep till 2 in the morning because I just toss and I turn and I toss and I turn and, like, it's like, I haven't found a way to cope with it besides this, honestly.
yeah,
This podcast, like, honestly, this is why we started it, is
mhm,
because when I sit here and I listen to somebody else's situation or what they've gone through, or if they've, how they've gone bankrupt or they've lost a child or lost a husband
mhm,
or lost a mother or whatever,
yeah,
I try and think, oh man, like, people, there's people out there that have it worse than I do.
mhm. Yeah, I try to remind myself of that. There's somebody out there that if they looked at my life, they think I would just be I've got the perfect, a wife, a kid, a good job, a house, cars. I mean, they're not the oldest, they're not the newest, but there's always somebody out there that's wishing they had what you have.
Yeah.
And I try to remind myself, like we've talked, money's not a huge I mean, it's money does bring
Yeah.
happiness. It allows you to pay your bills and everything else,
Yeah.
but money's not a huge driving factor for me. It never really has been. I mean, yeah, I'd love to make more, but with more money, what would I do that I can't do right now? So I just try to set myself up, set my family up. We're taken care of. We've got some money in the bank, but I'm not always chasing the next big thing. I don't need to have a brand new truck every year. Do I want one? Yeah, but I don't need it.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, I wanna say I almost say, "Yeah, I agree," because I always do,
Mhm.
but, like, that's just not how I
Yeah.
am, I just everybody's
Everybody's wired
different,
different.
but, I just, like, in that mindset, don't reach over the table and hit me, but, like, I was able to have my own child,
Mhm.
but I lost one,
Yeah.
and now we can't have any more,
Mhm.
or at least as of right now, we can't have any more, but for me, in my mindset, the doctor telling my wife that if you have a baby, like, don't have any babies right now,
Yeah.
but if you do have another baby, you're high risk the whole time, this and that. So in my mind, I'm set on no more kids.
Yeah.
But you and Britt, the way I look at it is you guys
Mhm.
had it worse than I do because you couldn't even have your own,
Yeah.
but you also lost a kid. I
Mhm.
mean, obviously you love the heck out of Trey, and he's the
Yep.
cutest kid ever. But I mean, and he's your own.
Yeah.
Trey's yours, but
Yep.
you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
so, and then there's some people you take it to the next step. We have friends that haven't been able to have kids. They've been trying for years and years and
Mhm.
years and haven't been able to have them at all.
Yeah. And with the adoption, there's a lot of people that don't have the means to adopt. I mean, it's expensive. And there's a lot of I don't know how to put this the right way, so I'm just gonna say it. There's a lot of asshole people out there that essentially are wanting to sell kids.
Yeah.
Pregnancy's not hard for them. They get pregnant, and we had a couple that reached out to us. Hey, we want you to adopt. We don't want any lawyers. We just want X amount of money, and that I mean it ruins the process and causes more issues, causes more lawyer fees and everything for everybody that does have to go down that route.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that's ever thought about it, if you ever want question, I'd love to help. My wife would love to help. It's been a huge blessing in our life. And people have asked, "Are you ever gonna adopt again?" And just me, it's hard because I know what we went through to get to that point and starting out early in our marriage, we didn't have a lot of money to do it.
Yeah. You sold
We're
your house to do it.
we're more financially stable now that, yeah, the money is probably easier to come by and everything, but do I wanna be the guy that says, "Oh, I have more money. I'm gonna adopt another child more than this couple at 20 years old that are trying to do the same?" And it's something we've talked about it. It's hard for me to be 'cause we lost one that a family just had more money, and they'd adopted multiple times, and we couldn't compete with them. We couldn't do all the stuff that, the birth mother was requesting, and I don't wanna be that guy to stop somebody else from building their family after the blessing we had from adoption.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so it's tough.
So tell me, because like I personally want to know this. I mean, I want everybody listening to listen too,
Mhm.
but this is just for me. But like I'm at the point in my life where, the way I look at it, we can't have any more
Yeah.
kids. The doctors completely got us on hold. They're trying medication after medication after
Mhm.
medication with my wife to try and get her kidneys under control with her lifelong disease. And, I'll be the first to say, I mean, this is what this podcast is all about is being open so people can judge me
Yeah.
if they want. But like, I have some pretty nice stuff,
Mhm.
like I've tried to be smart with my money. I've got a nice car out there and a nice truck, and I've just bought a new house. And, obviously there's debt involved in
Yeah.
that. But I've thought about adoption
Mhm.
time and time again. I've thought about surrogacy time and time again. But then you start looking into it. And like you said, like some people are just in it for the money.
Yeah.
Like,
There's people out there that that's their way of surviving. I mean, they'll put kids up for adoption, and it sounds horrible, but, I mean, you look outside of our small community that we're in, look at worldwide, and it's a problem.
yeah. Well, and then I'm gonna sound like a piece of crap because it's like, when I looked into
Mhm.
it, people are like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you could adopt within the United States. If
Yep.
you adopt within the United States, which there's plenty of kids to adopt,
Mhm.
you're gonna be 60 to $70,000 this day and age.
Yep.
But you can't go get you can't do it through insurance. You can't do it through this, you
Yeah.
can't do it through that. It's cash money. You gotta have $70,000 said and done cash.
Mhm.
Who the heck has
And
$70,000 cash
and
floating around?
honestly, I'll kinda tell you that's just for lawyer fees,
Yeah.
and every state's different. We ended up adopting in Arizona, and, we've talked about this on a podcast before, but we ended up having to spend 21 days down there. So on top of, let's say, 75,000, on top of that, you gotta be away from work. You gotta be in Arizona at where we adopted at least. You've gotta be in a hotel for 21 days, and it just so happened for us it's 21 days. Every state's different, but that's more I mean, think about a hotel for 21 days.
Yeah.
We got lucky, we had family down there that we were able to stay with that saved us a ton of money. But yeah, I mean, you could easily be 100 grand to adopt a
Oh,
kid and
yeah.
just give them a better life.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, then I was gonna say if you go outside of country,
Mhm.
then you're looking if you go foreign, you're looking at 100 grand up front
Yeah.
just to get the child first,
Yep.
and then on top of that, you have your expenses
Mhm.
and this and that, and so in, like, my mind and this is where I'm gonna sound like a piece of crap, and I'm just you're probably a lot different than I am, but, I have some nice stuff for my family
Mhm.
right now, and I'm able to do some stuff with them, and I work really hard, and I put an effort into everything I do. I'm focused to have what I have, but, like, I don't just have 70 to
Yeah.
$100,000 floating around to go, try and adopt a
Mhm.
child. So then it's like part of me is like, "Oh, like, I feel guilty. Maybe I should sell my house and my
Yeah.
car and my truck and this and that and go rent and just uproot my
Mhm.
life to be able to have another child, to be able to adopt a child, or do I stay content with what I have?"
Yeah.
Do you uproot the life? And my wife would look at me and be like, "Yeah, we'd uproot our whole life and
Mhm.
go." But, like, me as a person, I'm real, I'm human. But, like, I don't wanna uproot my life to spend my life savings to adopt another child.
Mhm.
Granted, I have one right now, so it's different for
Yeah.
people that don't have one. But, like, I have a child, but do I want more kids? Yeah, when Chris and I got married,
Mhm.
the young ass, we were talking about having 4 and 5 kids.
Oh, wow.
We wanted a big family.
Yeah.
I did, I wanted a big family.
You had a big family growing up?
Yeah, so I've got 3 brothers and a sister, and
Mhm.
she's got 4 sisters and a brother. So we both come from big families. We
Yeah.
both wanted lots of babies running around the house. It killed us. It kills me because, my one brother's got two kids,
Mhm.
and Chris's family, got all of her sisters pop babies out like they're going
Yeah.
out of style, and her and I are over here just kinda like, "Well, what
Yeah.
do we do? We can't have more kids. We can't expand our family,"
Mhm.
and the question I hate the most, and we get it all the freaking time, is, "When are you guys having another kid?" And I just wanna freaking
Yeah.
like, it
Yeah.
pisses
People
me
don't
off.
know, and we get the same. I mean, you've seen Trey. He and I look identical, you know?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So when we get it, "Well, are you gonna adopt again? Are you gonna do this?" Well, honestly, it's nobody else's business.
Mhm.
And that's a question I hate to hear when, "Oh, when are you gonna have another kid? Why don't you have 3 or 4 or 5?" One kid might be all somebody can afford.
Yeah.
I mean, whether through adoption or just natural. I mean, if you don't have insurance, having a kid's probably outrageous.
Yep.
We never went down that path. We went the adoption route, but yeah, stuff's not cheap.
No, and that's the thing is you just don't know what people are going through,
Mhm.
like Dustin, luckily we had insurance. Some
Mhm.
people flat out, their jobs don't offer
Yeah.
insurance, they can't afford the premiums.
Mhm.
There was a time in my life where my job wasn't paying for my insurance or even paying a partial.
Yeah.
I was for my wife, my boy, and I was paying 900 and something dollars a month
Yeah.
for freaking insurance, and some people, I could barely afford that.
Mhm.
But I knew insurance was important. A lot of people can't afford it. Well, when
Yeah.
we had Dusty and the doctor's telling us, "Hey, he's gonna be healthy, he's gonna be fine. Here's a steroid
Mhm.
shot. We're good, we're good." And then he's born, and then 2 days later, he's in the NICU,
Mhm.
and then 2 days later, he's being life flighted to Ogden, and
Yeah.
then 21 days later after that, and then you get the bill,
Yeah.
$160,000 it was to have that kid.
Yeah, and that was what, 5 years ago? Almost
Yeah,
5 years?
almost 5 years ago in July.
So what is that from now? I mean, from that 5 years, that might be a $200,000 bill.
Yeah. Oh, easy, and the life I mean, I love
Mm.
Lifelight. I'm full support for Lifelight, but, like, just speaking as a person, it was 60 grand
Yeah.
alone to fly my boy,
Yeah, it's not cheap to get those helicopters off the ground.
and that was an in-network too.
Mhm.
If you all of a sudden go out of network,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, you're
70,
gonna
80, $90,000,
yeah.
and I just I like, I it's just things like that that, like, like, it just frustrates me so bad, and it makes me feel, like, sad inside for other people,
Mhm.
because I know other people are going through all this bullshit. Sorry, I'm trying not to swear, but, like, they're going through all this bull crap, and I mean, but this is the way that I jive with it,
Mhm.
is just, like,
Yeah.
talking about it. But, I mean, you and I have both gone through child losses, and you've gone through, it wasn't easy. It was a
Mhm.
happy moment,
Yeah.
but it was hard to get Trey adopted,
It
what you
was,
guys went through.
and we were in a different circumstance than most, but I've heard stories and we've talked to people that have adopted. You kind of build this little network when you're going through that process
Yeah,
that I mean, it's just because you pay a lawyer money and you go, there's no guarantee you're going home with that kid.
yeah,
I mean, for whatever reason, the birth mother could change her mind. You've still paid the lawyer. They're not gonna refund that money to you. Like, they did their job for however long that process is.
mhm,
And I've talked to people, they've lost 50 grand.
yeah,
They've went down to a hospital thinking we're gonna bring a kid home. Well, the birth mother changed her mind, or the state stepped in, or something comes about, and they're just out that money. I mean, how many people can just lose 50 grand and still continue the process?
yeah. Not many
I
people,
mean,
because 'cause they've been scraping
yeah.
pennies, like, kinda going back to what I it was almost a question, but, like, you physically,
Mhm.
granted you had some equity, which, the
Yep.
economy worked in your favor a little bit, but it wasn't all equity. I mean,
Yeah.
what made you decide, like I say, like, for me, I don't know if I could physically make the decision to uproot
Mhm.
my life or sell my house or sell this and sell that, and that sounds horrible. A lot of people are probably gonna give me a lot of hate for
Yeah.
that, but, like, you made that decision. You
Mhm.
sold your home and you took all the equity that coulda gone
Yeah.
towards your new home, or you took the equity that coulda gone towards other debt or student loans or
Mhm.
whatever, and you went and adopted a kid. I mean, where'd the decision come from that?
It came from a 5'8" blonde chick that I happen to be married to. That I mean, it I was okay. I didn't have to have kids. I mean, I was the youngest of 3. I didn't change a diaper till I was 30.
Mhm.
I didn't grow up with younger siblings. Like, a big family wasn't in my cards.
Yeah.
And when we lost our child and was pretty well told that, "Hey, if you do have one, it might be me going home with just a kid or me going home with neither." I mean, that was a possibility. So we started looking into, it's not adoption, what's the other one?
Foster.
Foster. And I knew getting it by then I had nieces, and I just knew myself, I would get attached to this kid. And if I get attached, it'd actually kill my wife if we had a kid for 6 months
Mhm.
and then the parents step back in or whatever that whole
Mhm.
process would be. I wasn't 100% on board with the adoption. I'll be
Yeah.
honest. I just wasn't. I never leading up to it, I was never fully, but I did it for my wife.
Yeah.
She needed it, she wanted it, but I'll tell you the minute I saw Trey, it completed everything. It changed my mind 100%. But
I'm gonna make myself look like more of a piece of crap, but, like, that's something that wanders in my brain,
mhm,
is like, Trey's not your blood,
mhm,
like, but the love is the same, you feel
absolutely,
like?
absolutely. I'd do anything for him,
That
100%.
that kid's a little badass.
Yeah.
I love the hell out of
But
that
yeah,
kid
just
myself.
the day we got down there and saw him, I knew he was meant to be with us.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
yeah, it's different. It really is. I mean, you've seen him. We don't look alike. He's
You act alike, though.
we
He's
do act
he's
like
you through and
he
through
is
in
me. Yeah, he
personality.
acts just like me. I'll tell everybody he acts just like my wife, but it's me. He acts like me. He argues. He's me in a smaller version.
But he is
But
the sweetest
yeah, he's a
kid.
good kid.
I mean, the
We
first
got
time I
we got
met that
lucky.
kid, first time I
Mhm.
ever met him, he runs up there and just freaking full wraps his
Yeah.
arms around my leg and
Yeah,
just
we're still
hugs me.
teaching him there's boundaries. I'm not a hugger. He is. He's turning me into that.
Yeah.
I mean, he having a kid changes you.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I never got emotional. I never teared up, but the day I saw him,
Oh, yeah.
that changes everything.
Yeah.
But
And that's the thing. I mean, we probably ought to move on to another
Mhm.
subject before I say something that I'm gonna get in trouble with, but that's what frustrates me so much is there's so many good kids out there that
Yeah.
just need good families, and I know there's so many good people out
Mhm.
there that want these kids in their lives,
Yeah.
but they just physically cannot do it,
Mhm. Yeah, for
and
whatever reason, maybe they're just put here to raise and adopt another child, give them a
yeah,
better life.
and honestly, honestly, shame on the people that make it
Mhm.
hard to adopt another kid
Yeah.
for their own financial gain, shame on them, like,
Mhm.
it pisses me off because, like,
Yeah.
I'm in the position right now, I'd go adopt 4 kids right now if I had a choice.
Yeah.
I cannot afford that. I sit here and wonder about
Mhm.
affording one.
It's expensive. It's a cost that nobody should have to go through, but I'll fully admit it's worth it. It's worth every
Yeah.
dime we ever spent.
Yeah, see, that's what I need to
Now,
get on
would
board
I
with.
do it again? It would take a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I love Trey, I love my wife, I love the process and the life it gave us, but and I kinda told you it's something I fight with. If my wife would go do it
Yeah.
today. She'd take as many kids as possible, but
But that's the thing that I feel like is okay though, like, we talk about, I physically say, "Oh, I'm a piece of crap because I
Mhm.
don't wanna sell all my stuff to go adopt a kid," or, "I'm a piece of crap because I don't wanna,"
Yeah.
if the doctor ever comes out and says, "Okay, this medication worked, your wife's good to go,"
Mhm.
it's gonna be really hard to get me on board
Yeah.
because I have a son and I have a wife, and they're both here and they're both
Mhm.
healthy, and I'm not willing to take the risk to lose her,
Yeah.
because of that, and so but the thing is, like, that's okay, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay to,
Mhm.
like, only want 1 kid, it's
Yeah.
okay to only adopt once, or
Mhm.
it's okay to do that stuff, and it goes back to the question of, like, when are you gonna have another kid? Quit asking that.
Yeah.
Quit asking people when they're
Yeah.
gonna be able to
You
have
never know what
kids.
somebody's going through.
Some people physically can't have kids, and when
Yeah.
you ask the question of, like, "Oh, when are you," and I know for a lot of people it's harmless
Mhm.
in the people that are asking the
Yeah,
questions
they
mind.
don't mean it to cause issues or bring up. I mean, we went through it. When we found out we couldn't, and it was before we put in for adoption, my wife's brother ended up him and his wife got pregnant, and
Mhm.
it was hard for him to be able to tell us.
Mhm.
Like, how do you go when your older sister that has just been told you're never gonna be able to have a kid? How do you go to them and say, "Hey, I hope you're happy for us. We're pregnant."
Yeah.
And we were. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's one of those, like, we were happy for them. The kids are great. We still every time we hear somebody's having a kid, it's great.
Yeah,
We're
it is.
100% happy for them. But then you go home and it's just you and your wife, and it's one of those of, "Well, they can. Why can't we?"
That's,
And that was tough. I mean, it got easier after the adoption and,
yeah.
having Trey. It helps mend things, but still, to know the 2 of us will never have our natural born child, it's still something that bugs you.
Yeah.
I mean, and I would even if we had 5 kids, if I knew I was getting Trey, man, I'd do it every time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's tough. You never know what people are going through, and I heard it from all sorts of people. "Why, I mean, you guys have been married for 5, 6 years. Why haven't you had a kid? Why?" "Well, you don't know. We lost one, and we've had doctor's appointment
Mhm.
after doctor's appointment,
Mhm.
and it's just not in the cards for us." People don't know that.
Yeah, and it's no fault to theirs, but, like, if you do know that somebody's having a
Mhm.
struggle, like, quit asking the dang
Yeah.
question, but it's hard. I mean, it's hard enough. Like I say, I'm lucky because we got Dusty.
Mhm.
You guys didn't have that opportunity. Like yesterday for Mother's Day, we were out at my in-laws
Mhm.
riding in the side by side and my sister-in-law just had a new baby. My wife's just over there coddling that
Yeah.
cute little girl and we were riding the side by side and well, and you guys, the side by side we have isn't crazy. So yes, we had a baby, but it's fully enclosed. Like
Yeah. He's
the
buckled
baby
in,
was
everything.
safe,
Yeah.
yeah, but she's holding her. I'm just like I just keep looking at her like that should be us. Like that
Mhm.
should be us. Like it freaking wrecks me, man.
Yeah.
Like it just sucks. But then like I say, you look at other people and
Mhm.
other people are going through the
Yeah. I
freaking
mean,
same thing.
there's
And
kids I went to school with that they've got 5 and 6 kids,
yeah,
and they're happy. There's kids I went to school with that have none, and they're happy.
yeah,
But it's yeah, you never know what somebody's going through and the reasons why. I mean, I fully think my wife was put here to be a mother.
yeah,
It just so happened that it was through the adoption process.
yeah,
But without going into too much detail, I mean, in our situation, Trey was going with us or he was going with child services. So to know now, like, who knows where he would have ended up if we
Mhm.
wouldn't have been in the picture? Who knows? That, that he would he had a fighting chance.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're the perfect fit. We're not. We don't have everything. I mean, but that kid knows at the end of the day he's loved no matter what, and so I feel like we gave him an opportunity and a better life. Not knocking anything that happened to his birth mother. She's her and her family. I mean, she's passed now, but her family we're still in contact with. Like we've been honest with Trey. I think he kind of knows. I mean,
Yeah.
his skin's a little darker than ours. I mean, we don't look alike, and we don't plan to hide it from him. We're going to tell him we plan on meeting the birth family. We want him to know what the whole process of what brought him into our life is. But yeah, it's you just never know what somebody's going through.
Yeah.
But if you or anybody has any questions, again, not that I'm an expert, my wife's not an expert, but we've been through it. We'll love to help anybody that has any questions that have even thought about it. We'll share our experience. We still got the adoption book that we went through. I mean, you need help with it. Anybody that feel free to reach out. It's an amazing feeling to give a kid a better life.
And that's what this is all about is just that. I mean,
Mhm.
you offering your help, being here for Trey, and it's just I just feel like there's so many people these days that struggle with it, and here you are,
Yeah.
you've made it, you've done it, and you're offering your help to other
Mhm.
people, and that's why we're doing this. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like at the beginning of this podcast, it's like, "Hi, my name's Cody, I'm from Richmond. Hi, my name's Cam." But, like, as it's amazing, as we've done this
Mhm.
podcast and we've interviewed 13 people
Yeah.
now, and every single person I think that we've interviewed, at the end of the interview, they're like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
I don't know who I was
That
during
was an
that
hour, that was 2 hours,
podcast."
they go into stories. I mean, just
Yeah,
having that conversation and being able to vent. I mean, I've talked very little about the adoption, not that I don't want to, it's
yeah,
just
it hurts.
yeah, it's not
It's
something
tough.
I talk about a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, one kind of funny story about it is a guy that used to work for me, and I'm not gonna say names, but he learned of when me and my wife got married, and then he kinda did the math of Trey was just a baby, and he went to somebody else at work, and he's like, "Man, I always kinda like Cody, but I've got a lot of respect for him." She's like, "Oh, yeah, why is that?" And he's like, "For him to stay with his wife after, she stepped out on him," and and the other gal, she's like, "You know he adopted, right?" And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, that fits, but I still have a lot of respect for him."
Oh my
And she came and told me that, and, like, I found it funny. Like, we didn't talk about it,
Yeah.
but my wife doesn't step I mean, we adopted. There's a reason.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, again, he just kinda judged a book by its cover, and
Mhm.
yeah, but that was years ago. I still remember that story from it would've been, what, almost 7 years ago now.
Yeah. And it's all humors.
Yeah.
You and I do the joke all the
Yeah.
time of like, "Oh, like, that must be the mailman's kid,"
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
But
he's mine, and I'd do anything for that kid. We
yeah.
don't look the same, but man, he's
Y
part of the family.
You're his
He's
dad.
mine. He's
You're his freaking
yep.
dad, man. That's the way it should be, and like Cody said, like, this is why we do this. If you guys are
Mhm.
struggling with these situations, where I encourage you guys to reach out to Cody specifically, like,
Yeah.
reach out to Cody or find somebody else
Mhm.
that has done it because it's not hard. I
Yeah.
mean I mean, it is
It's
hard.
hard, but it's easier with somebody there.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife knew somebody back from, being raised out in Fairview. There was a lady down the road that adopted, and she helped us out tremendously. Just being there to have somebody to talk to, point
Yeah.
us in some directions. She came to the day we had it was all official, which was 6 months. 6 months to the day from Trey was born, that's when it was finally all the paperwork was done, there's absolutely nothing. He was he was given our last name, birth certificates, everything, like, with the courthouse here, he was ours, and she was there. It was a big part of it. I mean,
That's awesome.
she really helped my wife out a lot.
That's super cool.
But, yeah, I mean, with the state of Arizona, after 72 hours, he was ours,
Yeah.
but you still got all the paperwork and all that other
Mhm.
nonsense to go through, but
All the BS, and
yeah,
they're
he was
making it hard
born
again.
on the 7th of January, and on the 7th of June,
Yeah.
it was done and official, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, let's talk more about the podcast before I start crying about all the stuff we've been talking about, but So, I wanna I still wanna continue to explain the podcast,
Mhm,
I've had a few negative comments from some people. I mean, they're not super negative, they're not bagging on the podcast,
mhm,
but, you know, the this podcast, you're supposed to be able to be yourself
yeah,
on. You're supposed to be real. I don't want anybody to come on this podcast and have them hide themselves and feel like they
mhm,
need to be scripted. For example, I'm gonna throw Cade Panix out there.
yep,
Cade is a heck of a guy.
yeah,
He's a stud, he's a cool guy, he's knowledgeable. He's the most down to earth son of a gun I've ever met in my life, and he would do anything for everybody.
mhm,
But does he cuss a lot? Yeah.
yeah,
Do I care? No. I had somebody come up to me the other day and be like, "Hey, like, I've been loving your podcast. You guys are doing great. But that one podcast I just couldn't listen to. It was just too vulgar."
yeah,
And I get that. Like, I understand that. But, like, we're doing this podcast not to be scripted
mhm,
and be, led on
yeah,
how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be real and raw. We interviewed the county commissioner candidates,
mhm,
and Cody and I are not looking to start
yeah,
fights. Like,
no,
we,
absolutely not. Not for somebody else.
no.
For my own part, yeah, maybe I'll stir the pot a little bit
Yeah.
but yeah, you brought up the county commissioner ones. I've thought a lot about that one.
Yeah.
Like, there's been some comments out there.
Mhm.
I didn't wanna that one worried me. I wanted to do it, I really did, but it
Yeah.
worried me of, are people gonna see us taking a side?
Yeah.
That wasn't the intent.
Mm.
We told the commissioners when they came in, or the candidates, "We're not here to throw shade on anybody else.
Mhm.
You're gonna answer some questions." We wanted to be as straightforward as can be,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, everybody has their voice.
Yeah.
It's unscripted. If they say something,
Right.
it's not like, "Hey, we need you to say this
Yeah.
to get viewers," or whatever. It's
Yeah.
people are, hopefully, when they come here and they get on, they're being honest in whether they're a commissioner or Cade or whoever.
Yeah.
Be honest and open, and I hope more people realize that listen, and they'll come on and share their voice, share their
Yeah.
stories. It's not a, we don't wanna tell you 6 months in advance, "Hey, prepare yourself, we're gonna talk about
Right.
X."
Right.
It's, "Come on and let's see where the conversation takes us."
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes there's a bad word thrown in.
Yeah.
There's maybe with a certain kid that I went to school with, there might be some stuff that
Yeah.
was breaking the law,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's real and raw, and that's what, to me, that's what really had me interested in coming on and being a co-host is, like you said, there's a lot of podcasts out there that you can tell they're scripted.
Yeah.
They're using, to benefit for one reason or another.
Mhm.
This one's not that.
And that's, I'm gonna roll this into something because that's something I've always worried about is like, what does somebody think about
Mm,
me? What's this person gonna do? Or like any project I do or any social media I post, it's like, okay, like, is this one gonna be
yeah,
make everybody happy? Is this one gonna, oh, is this gonna offend Linda? Is she
mhm,
gonna call my mom? It's like, this is not it. Like, I'm at the point in my life where it's like, you know what?
yeah,
If you don't like me, you don't like me. And I hope everybody listens to this podcast. We want everybody to listen to this podcast,
mhm,
but I'll be the first to say it's real. It's
yeah,
raw. It's not scripted. If somebody wants to come in here and what calms their nerves is they sit at my desk and they drink a beer
mhm,
while they're listening to my or recording my podcast, by golly, you drink a
yeah,
beer.
be yourself. There's no hiding.
Yeah. Like,
But I mean, I've got the same worry, especially with you and I being on the fair board,
yeah.
and I'm on, fire, and you're on search,
Yeah.
and that there's topics that get brought up that I wanna voice my opinion and share my side, but at the end of the day, is it worth it? Is it gonna get me in trouble if I say the wrong thing to the wrong
Mhm.
person? Do I want somebody to be like, "Oh, you're fair chairman, he said this on a podcast," and
Yeah.
go to the commissioners that are over the fair, and I don't want that, so I try to think about what I'm gonna say, but I know at the end of the day, I'm gonna say something that is gonna upset somebody, and if you have a problem with it, I'm open, come talk to me.
Yeah.
Don't don't go to Facebook and everywhere else and be like, "Oh, did you hear he said this?" or "Did you hear he said that?" and spin my words back. Open and honest, come talk to me. If I said
Yeah.
something that offends you, I don't mean to offend anybody by anything I say or anything that we brung on this podcast, but at the end of the day, everybody's got their own opinion and their own voice, and it might not be for everybody in
Yeah.
that certain episode or whatever, but
Yeah. I
we're
agree.
we're trying to be honest.
Yeah.
And I hope that changes people's mindset of whether they listen or not. Is when you hear this, you're gonna get honesty,
Yeah.
truthful. I mean, yeah, this world, everybody's got to be different. If everybody was the same, this world would suck.
Yeah. Well, and I wanna reply to that before I heard your
Mhm.
phone buzz. That's not a call, is it?
No, that's sorry, that's work.
Oh, you're fine. No, and just for everybody that knows, he is a firefighter,
Mhm.
and Cody has full permission. He's dedicated to this community, and if he gets a freaking fire call in the middle of a podcast, this guy better get out of here or else I'll be mad. So, if you guys are ever listening to our podcast and Cody bails, that's why. But no, on that sense, like, I'm gonna roll it a little bit deeper, but like, I feel like it's all too common that like people are so judgy.
Mhm.
And I don't ever want to say anything to offend anybody. This isn't a dig on anybody. Whatever people say on our podcast, it's up to them. Me and Cody are not promoting it. We're just being real. But like, I am gonna just say myself, like people get judgy.
Mhm.
Like, oh, like that kid's wearing short pants
Yeah.
today, or that kid has a tattoo, or that kid just said the F word, or that kid, last week he went and
Mhm.
partied it up, or oh, he didn't go to church. Oh,
Yeah.
that kid didn't go to church. Well, he must
Yeah.
not love Jesus because he didn't go to
Yeah.
church on Sunday. You know what I mean? Or I mean, there's just so much to the world that like stop it.
Yeah,
Stop
it's
that.
far too common we judge and belittle and
Yeah.
why? I mean, cheer people up. Be there, give them a hello, shake their hand, whatever
Yeah.
it takes. Build them up, don't tear them down. And I mean, I'm to blame. Everybody is.
Me too.
Everybody
I
does
was
it.
about to say, am I the best person? No.
But if we could change that to be more, I don't know, friendly, ask people, talk to them, just ask how your day's going. I mean,
Hmm.
how often have you had a bad day and all it takes is somebody to sit down and listen to you for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Somebody to talk to
Yeah.
more than, oh, that Cam, he's an asshole because he had a bad day.
Yeah.
Everybody has bad days. You don't know what somebody's going through.
Yeah.
Don't judge them by what they might have said or done in that small moment. I mean, you brought up a kid doesn't go to church. He's got to be a bad kid. Who knows? Maybe that morning he found out, grandma died, or you never know. That might be the reason he's not there.
Yeah.
I mean, some people, the way they decompress after a day of work is have a drink. Who am I to judge if somebody goes home and has a beer after
Yeah.
work?
Or maybe where they find God is in the
Yeah.
mountains
Mhm.
instead of in a church
Yeah.
chapel. You know what I mean?
Everybody's, I mean, everybody has a story and everybody has their own view on life and their own, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, just they have their own life. Just because they're not exactly what you are doing in your life doesn't make them a worse person. I mean, really think about it. If everybody was exactly like Cam Spackman,
It would be
not
a
knocking you,
mess.
but how screwed up would this
Oh,
world be if everybody
man.
was exactly the same? They
Dude,
had the same job, they had the same house, they had the same everything.
this place would be burning down right now.
Yeah, I don't wanna live in a world like that.
Yeah.
I wanna go to somebody and hear their story of, "I'm a recovering alcoholic," or "I'm recovering off drugs," or what. Those are the stories I wanna hear. I don't wanna hear, "Oh, yeah, I did the exact same thing you did. I went to the same school. I did the same thing. I got married to the same." That's boring.
Or on top of that, I mean, this is going all over the place.
Hmm.
Bing, 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 like freaking
Yeah.
ping pong, man. But like, you said, oh, I'm a recovering alcoholic. Well, what if somebody says I am an alcoholic,
Mhm.
but they're seeking help?
Yeah.
What if you're the person that's like,
Yeah, and
you know,
instead of sitting back judging them that they're having a beer at
mhm,
dinner, maybe go talk to them. They might just need somebody to talk to. I mean,
yeah,
you never know what somebody's going through.
yeah,
You could be that person that says, "Hey, instead of having a drink or drinking multiple or whatever, call me. We'll go to town. We'll go to the gym. We'll go do whatever." Maybe they just need somebody to be a friend and be an outlet. Maybe they don't have that, so maybe that's what takes them to the bottle and the
hmm,
alcoholics,
hmm.
point. You just never know.
I agree. I feel like most of the time in this world, I gotta bite my tongue, but I feel like most of the time in this world, people get more depressed. They
Mhm.
have more of a hard time because somebody else is treating them
Yeah.
the way they're being treated. And I'm not saying you and I are better than anybody else. We just said
No.
that.
Yeah.
But like that's why we're doing this is like we haven't turned one person away from this podcast
Mm-mm.
yet. We've had people that I have never met in my entire
Mhm.
life sit at this table
Yeah.
and
And
talk.
and that have reached out that wanna come on,
Yeah.
but I mean, kinda going down that line is we'll spin it back to the adoption. I've been through the process. My wife has been through the process. There might be somebody out there listening right now that them and their spouse are sitting there like, "What do we do?
Mhm.
We can't have our own kid. What are our other options?" And by doing this podcast and getting their stories out there, they know now that there's somebody to reach out to.
Yeah.
Whether that's me or whoever else, reach out to people. I mean, when we had, I think it was episode 3 with Lyndon and the loss of their child and yours and mine, I had a couple people reach out after that saying, "Hey, we're going through the same type of situation." That's huge to listen that there's other people that have gone through the same thing. Whether or not they reached out, I don't know. But having that outlet, having somebody that you know in the same small town that has fought some of the battles you're going through, that's huge. And I think that's what we're doing on this podcast. I hope people are getting some bit of good out of it other than just something to play on the radio as they're driving to
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
And we're not gonna touch everybody's lives, but
No.
hopefully some good comes out of this for the people that are listening and or if you're hearing it and you know somebody in that type of situations, send them our way. Let's get them on and have that conversation.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can say the same, like, I appreciate it. I appreciate the people that shoot a text and say, "Hey, like, oh,
Mhm.
you guys are doing a great job," or "What you're doing is so cool," or, "I loved listening to that one." But what, like, hits me harder than anything is when somebody's like, "Man, like, that's what I needed
Yeah.
today," you know? "I needed to hear that," or, "Oh, man, I'm
Mhm.
going through that. Thank you for that." Like, you know,
Yeah.
when somebody reaches out, then like, you're changing somebody's life,
Mhm.
and that's what I wanna do is I wanna change people's life because honestly, like, I'm not I'm honestly myself, I'm not in the position to change somebody's life because I'm still freaking working on my own. So this podcast is just as much for me as it is
Yeah.
anybody else, is I wanna hear what other people are going through because, I we've talked about adoption, we've talked about losing kids, we've talked
Mhm.
about this, we've talked about that, but my list is never ending.
Yeah.
My list is I lost my child. My wife has a kidney disease. I worry about my finances. I worry about my
Mhm.
career. I worry about getting fired. I worry if I'm going to be able to take care of my kid. I worry about if my kid's going to die at a young age. I worry about if my
Yeah.
wife's going to die at a young age. I worry about my parents. I worry about my in-laws. I worry
Mhm.
about my brothers. I worry about everything. I worry about myself.
Yeah.
Every little ache and pain, like, I got a freaking knee pain right now, dude, and
Yeah.
there's a freaking genetic thing in my family where
Mhm.
it's like a bucket it's like a meniscus bucket
Mhm.
tear, and my knee started hurting, and I'm like, "Here it
Yeah.
comes, that
You're gonna
baby's
blow out your
coming."
knee.
But I'm gonna am I allowed to talk about it?
Yeah.
Your concerns? But, like,
Mhm.
your dad's had cancer
Yep.
5 times, and you've told me time after time, "The doctor told us there's
Mhm.
whatever percentage chance that you or one of your brothers or sister
Yep.
get cancer," and you tell me all your time, like, "Oh, I'm pretty well planning on getting
Mhm.
cancer." Dude,
That's
that sucks to hear
it
from you.
does, but that's my way of dealing with it. I'm preparing myself now that if it does happen, I'm gonna be ready. I'd rather know going in, "Hey, you've got a pretty good shot because of the family history," that I can start preparing myself now,
Yeah.
than just waking up one day like, "Oh, man, this hurts," and go and find out. And there's people that that's the way they find out. They might be the only one in their entire family. So that's just my way of dealing with it. I'm preparing myself to be able to fight it, beat it, and stay here till I'm about 99.
Yeah, 99 and a half, I know.
Yeah. But everybody deals with it different. I've never talked to my brother about it. I mean, I've got a twin brother. I think most people know that, but I mean, we don't look anything alike. We don't act alike. I still, to this day, I mean, I was over at the fairgrounds the other day and somebody's like, do you know this Brady guy? You guys got the same last name. I said, yeah, I know him pretty well. I've known him for 36 years and all but like a minute of my life I've known him.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, he's my twin brother. And the guy didn't believe me. But yeah, and maybe I mean to him he might think he's never gonna get it. But just for
Mhm.
me and the way I am, that's how I'm gonna get through the battle is preparing myself early. And I really do hope it never happens. But if it does, I'm gonna be ready to beat it.
I don't know what to say to that because I just dude, but really legit though, like, that's a
Mhm.
tough mindset, like, this is taking it to an extreme well, I'm not gonna go there, but, like, just for you, like, the doctors told you
Mhm.
guys, "Hey, there's a high chance you're getting it, man. Like, you're getting it." And I'm not trying to,
Mhm.
like, bring up your emotions,
No,
but
it's
it's just like for me, like if honestly for me, if somebody told me, "Hey, like
mhm,
you're gonna get cancer," I wouldn't live my life.
yeah.
I would be moping around, curled up in a
See,
ball, crying every
and I'm
day.
the exact opposite. I mean, you mentioned I'm on the fire department, I've said that before. Look up how many firefighters get cancer. I mean, it's not all of them, but it ups your chances with the carcinogens and everything you're dealing with, so I'm gonna live my life to the fullest, do everything I wanna do, and if beating cancer's on the list down the road, then so be it.
It's on
We're
that
gonna
damn
beat it.
list,
We're gonna beat it and move forward.
or else I'm gonna
But
hunt the guy down that has the cure, and I'll
I'm
freaking
hoping by the
beat him.
time if I do get I'm hoping by then the doctor's like, "Oh, that's easy. We'll beat this, no problem."
Yeah.
I mean, the advances in medicine and everything now, you never know, but
That's what I hope
yeah.
is that when my wife needs a kidney transplant, if
Mhm.
ever, that they've got some artificial kidney that her
Yeah, they can
disease
just go.
can't attack again, but
There's smart people out in this world. They've gotta be working towards that, hopefully, to be able to fix all of our aches and pains and everything, but yeah, for me, that's just the way I deal with it. My wife's like you, she in her mind, I'm never gonna get it. In mine, it might happen, and if it does, it's just another challenge I'm gonna face. Dad's beat it so far, uncles have beat it, grandpa beat it. I'll be the one to beat it next. That's fine with me. But
dude,
everybody's wired different.
that's what I
Yeah,
admire about you.
that's how I'm gonna do it.
Like that's the thing though, is like you may not know it. I've told you before, but
Mhm,
I legit I'm not just saying this because we're on a podcast. Like I literally admire you. Because like me, I'm like chasing the dollar. I gotta
mhm.
be rich. I've gotta, if I think I'm gonna get a sickness, I'm worried to death,
Yeah,
like, and you're over here like, money's not really a thing for me.
yeah.
Like, I just love my life. And
Mhm.
I mean, not saying you haven't got through struggles, but I'm just
No,
saying,
no,
like, you have
we've
a
had
positive
plenty of struggles,
mind.
but
You have a positive mind
mhm,
through it. And I know you stress, everybody does, but then like with this cancer thing, you're like, yeah, doctor told me I got a chance, but I'm gonna beat that
mhm,
thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I admire about you because I can't
yeah,
I physically can't think that way. I've tried medication.
mhm,
I've tried things. I've tried to heal my mind to not worry so stinking much when
yeah,
I physically everything around me in my life could be perfect, and I'll find the one imperfect
yeah.
thing. It's just
No,
the way I live
there's a
it.
lot of people out there like that. I mean,
It's
I'm
one
not
of the
saying I'm perfect, but for me, that's what works. I just I control what I can control, and the rest of it, deal with it another day. So if you ever hear I have cancer, then it is what it is. I'm gonna beat it, and away we go.
damn, dude.
But to me, I'd rather it be me. I'm that type of person. If somebody in my family's got to have cancer next, I'd rather it be me than my brother or my sister because I can do it. I'll beat it. You never know what somebody else is gonna have to face.
Son of a
But
gun, Cody. Why do you gotta do this to me, man? I don't know why you gotta do this. You just like I'm holding it back right now, but like I literally just want to like physically ball right
yeah,
now.
and I'd rather do anything. I'd take the worst of the worst besides giving it to my wife or my child.
Yeah,
Like I don't care. I don't care what it is. Give it to me, not them.
son of a gun, dude.
But
I can't look you in the eye right now because this is
but for me, that's how I get through. And my wife's opposite. She in her mind, I'm never gonna get cancer. I'm gonna be the one. The family, the curse is gonna break with me. That's how she deals with it.
it is.
And I'm the complete opposite. But
I mean, I'm glad you're getting prepared, but I agree with your wife. The curse is gonna break with you.
I hope so. I really do. I mean, I don't want to have to beat cancer, but
Oh,
if that's in the cards for me, then so be it. I'll go out there and I'll beat it and continue to live my life.
I want to toot your horn a little,
We don't need to do that.
Cody. This is a family-oriented
Yeah.
podcast. No, like you've had a lot to go on with your life, but you
Mhm.
still, it's funny. My wife's even called me out before. She's
Yeah.
like, why are you doing everything Cody's doing? Fair. And I want to get on the fire
Mhm.
department and I want to do this. And, I've told you I want to come coach with you.
Yeah.
I want to, and but like, it's because like I strive to want to be like you, but why do you do what you do because the list is a laundry list. Like, you do
There's a lot.
fire,
Mhm.
football, ref basketball, fair. I mean, I'm drawing a blank because the list is so long. I mean, there is so much freaking stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, is that just something that, like, keeps your mind busy all the time? Is it
It's
something that, like, you're doing to keep your mind busy, or
nope.
is it
It's because I can, and if I don't, who will?
yeah.
I mean, that's the mindset of if and I know if we'll go basketball. I've ref basketball since I was 18. My dad got me into it. I played growing up, and I know, and it's always my fault, no matter what. The game, whoever wins or loses, it's my fault. I'm the guy in the stripes. I got the whistle. It's my fault. But if you step back and you really think about it, how many kids play high school basketball? It's probably in
Mhm.
the millions. Are they allowed to play without some fat old guy like me out there reffing? They're not. You don't have high school sports, organized sports without somebody willing to be the official.
Yeah.
I understand the game. I don't mind getting yelled at. I can completely zone it out. So I do it. So the kids can play. 100% the only reason I do it. It's not for the money. It's not for the extra. It's nothing. It's so the kids can have a chance to play.
Yeah.
And same with the fair. If I'm not on the fair board, somebody would probably do it. I know somebody would. Somebody would step up and do it. But if I'm capable and I can help put on a fair for everybody else in the community to come enjoy, why not?
And you're a natural at it.
I don't know about that. I've done it for a long time. I think this is year number 19 on the being part of the fair.
Dude, that's the thing for me is, like, looking at you, like, the kid I used to be, I never imagined myself ever doing what I'm doing now.
Mhm.
I'm walking in Cody's footsteps. Every shoe hole I step in, I look down and it's like 14 times bigger than the step
Yeah.
I'm in, but
No, but and
but
I did the same, with the fair. I followed behind Wes. With
yeah.
basketball, my dad got me into it. There's always somebody there. And I hope somebody's looking back. Not saying I'm the perfect example,
No, but
but I'm hoping some of these high school kids that get done playing, they can look and be like, "Hey, reffing's really not that bad. I can go do this so the next generation can step in and play." Same with coaching. I I didn't get into coaching because I wanted to. We took my brother-in-law, me and my wife, before we were married. I think it was the summer before we were getting married. Took him to his 5th or 6th, I think it was 5th grade football, like, first day. And the director stands up and he's like, "Hey, we need one more coach. Does any of the parents would you guys wanna help coach this team?" And I've told my wife, this is her fault. She looked at me and said, "Well, why don't you do it?" So I raised my hand and I got into coaching youth football, and now I've done it for, I think, 15, 16 years. And all the time away I've spent at games and practices, and I just got a reminder, "Hey, you started this.
yeah.
You got me at that first meeting, you got me to raise my hand, and now I absolutely love it."
Yeah.
Being able to give back, and we talked with Sean.
Yeah.
Wins and losses are important to me, but at the end of the day, if I could give the kid that experience of high school football and the opportunity to go play college, that's worth any that's worth way more than any win.
Well,
But
and it's all about the people you meet too. Like
mhm,
you say, like the path that I'm in right now, I would have never ever thought that I was in.
yeah,
I didn't even get a sniff of being a salesman and meeting new people. My family wasn't a traveling family. We didn't go on vacations. We didn't go see the world. We
mhm,
didn't travel far. Like we were homebodies. And I never once saw myself traveling to New Mexico and walking in the door to somebody that I never freaking met in my
yeah,
entire life and just becoming good friends with them, you know, and like this situation, like I moved to Southern Utah. When I moved to Southern Utah, I thought I was going to be there for 10 years. I
yeah,
had a 10-year plan. I bought a freaking townhouse down there thinking, oh, I'm going to be here for 10 years.
mhm,
And we were there for 3
and
months.
plans change.
And we uprooted that stuff. When we come to Preston, I'd
Mhm,
never seen you. I'd never met
mhm.
you in my entire life. And I've got you in my life now.
I don't even where did we was it fair?
It was fair.
Full
It
Bonanza.
was freaking bull bonanza,
Full
dude.
Bonanza, that's the first time I ever met you.
Like 5 years, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
And now like you're so involved in my
mhm,
life. Like, our kids play together and our wives hang out and you and I
mhm,
hang out all the time and we've had deep talks and Jackson,
mhm.
you know, Jackson was introduced to me through my wife, and then Jackson was introduced to you through me,
Yep.
and now we're all good friends. And Sean,
Mhm.
I never met Sean before until, he come over to a poker night one night because somebody invited him, and
Mhm.
now he hangs
Mhm.
out with us a lot. You know, it's funny because I have one friend, and I can't remember yours and Tyler's history, but like for me, I have one
Mhm.
friend, Thomas, from high school that is a damn good friend.
Yep.
That's there. I know I can call him when I need him. I've known him since I
Mhm.
was in middle school. That's the one kid I know that I could turn around and be like,
Yeah.
"You're my guy." Like,
Mhm.
other than that, you, Jackson, Sean, like these people that I've met, it goes back to Trisha's podcast last week.
I was just trying to think of who told us that.
Yeah,
That
it was
you still haven't met the person that's gonna make the biggest
exactly.
influence on your life.
And like you and Jackson and Sean, like you guys have, you
Mhm.
literally, I can't explain the impact that you guys have had on my life. Like, we're having a little bromance here,
Yeah.
but I'm serious. Like, I'm dead serious.
Mhm.
I'm a dark person. In my mind,
Yeah.
seriously, I'm a dark person. I'm always in the dumps, and it's you guys that have like brought me up.
Yeah.
When I got married, I had a group of friends in high school that like we all hung out. The second I started dating my wife, I was chopped liver,
Yeah.
and Thomas is the only one that didn't kick me out. Everybody else is like, "Oh, he's got a girlfriend. See ya.
Mhm.
You're not hanging out with the boys anymore." And Chris and I were married for 4 years. Then I met you. I met Jackson. I've met Sean. I met,
Mhm.
Jaden Hughie. I mean, there's a bunch of people. If I didn't list your name, don't be offended because there's a lot of people that have
Yeah.
affected my life. But like, there's a ton of people out there that
Mhm.
have affected my life in the most positive way that I am confident that if I didn't have you guys in my life, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And that's why, again, going back to why we're doing this podcast, this is why we're doing this
Mhm.
episode, is like, I want to bring people on that I get to meet, and I get to hear their story, like Lyndon Moser,
Yep.
losing his little girl. He's affected me in a super positive way on what he's went through. He went through the hardest time in his
Mhm.
freaking life, but him meeting me affected me in a huge way.
Yeah.
Calvin Sharp, Brock Fute,
Yeah.
Jaden
We've
Hughie.
had
I
some
mean,
good guests on here, and like you said, I hope that we can bring people in and build that relationship. That might be what somebody needs.
mhm.
I mean, you said you need it. I need it. I love my wife and kid, but at the end of the day, there's things that you don't wanna burden them with.
Yeah, you don't want them to have to think
I don't
about
wanna
it.
tell my wife, "Man, I'm worried. I didn't hit my numbers this month for work. I am
Yeah.
stressed." I talking to another guy that is a salesman as well, like, "Hey, I'm running shy on my numbers. What's helped you in your job?" I mean, my wife works at a bank. She doesn't talk to farmers and sell, and I know if I was having a bad month and I called you and said, "Hey, when you're talking to your customers, what gets them to come back to you?" I can use that in my job and not have to worry my wife with that. Hopefully hopefully everybody's got somebody out there that they can, and it should be your spouse. But again, there's stuff you don't wanna burden your spouse with. There's thoughts
Yeah.
in your mind. There's stuff that it might not be a big deal, but you can just talk to a buddy about it and
And to a point too, like, I'm not gonna tell anybody on this podcast what they are, but, like, my wife is the most supportive woman
mhm,
I have ever met in my entire life. Like, if I go to her struggling down in the dumps, like, her go-to is, "We're fine.
yeah,
We're fine. Struggling, like, quit worrying about it. Quit struggling with it. You're fine." And I love that, like, I need that from her,
mhm,
that's great. But what helps me more is talking about it more in depth, and talking about it more in depth, like, that's just not she's just not that type of
mhm,
gal, like, she doesn't wanna sit there and talk about the negative, she just wants to
yeah,
be positive, and she wants to move forward, and I love her to death for that. But, like, I've literally told you my
mhm,
freaking I do not tell people this, I've told you my freaking finances, dude.
yeah,
When I'm stressed about money, when I'm stressed about bills, I've literally told you
mhm,
stuff that people don't know.
yeah,
But I've needed that in my life, like, I've needed you to listen to me, and I've needed to hear what you have to say, even if it's like, "Cam, you're an
yeah.
idiot," like,
Well,
"Quit worrying
it's that
about
a
it."
lot, but
Yeah,
yeah,
you know?
and And hopefully this podcast is that for somebody. Hopefully somebody's sitting there listening like, "Man, I really needed to hear something that somebody on here said."
Mhm.
And it'll probably never be me because 'cause I'm not the wise guy. I'm just
Stop,
here.
dude, stop.
But, like, I've taken stuff from this podcast for myself
Me too.
of like, "Man, I never looked at it that way. I never thought down that way."
Mhm.
And I've used it in my own life, and we've only been doing this for a short time,
Mhm.
but it opens your eyes when you can hear from people. And again, I mean, look at all the people we've got on so far.
Yeah.
From a 10,000-foot view, you think their life's just perfect or it is what it is, and then you hear something they struggled with. And it almost makes people human. Like,
Mhm.
everybody's got something they're going through. And it could be something small, something tiny, or it could be something huge like the loss of a loved one or a child, or you never know.
Dude,
And
it's physically an honor. I'm gonna start calling these the magic headphones, because like, there's people that I've known, like, I know of this person, they come on here and, like, it's not even what they say on
mhm,
the podcast. We had somebody that said what they said on the podcast, and then after the podcast, they took their headphones on
mhm.
off, and they continued,
Yep.
which is
Yeah.
okay, and
Some of the
that
best
one
stuff we've had has been off air.
off air, and but that's the thing that I want,
Mhm.
I love our listeners, and I hope people share it and listen. To be honest, this isn't about the views.
Yeah.
Sure, the more views, the better, it's reaching more people, but if we had 10 people listen to this, or if there was just the
Mhm.
3 of us in a room and that's all that heard it,
Yeah.
that's what freaking matters, and the one, you know who you are, like, props to him. I mean, he did the podcast and he shared a lot of information,
Mhm.
but then he freaking took his headphones off and
Yeah.
he got real.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not that what he said on the podcast wasn't real, it's just that
Yeah.
he opened up enough that he went even deeper,
Mhm.
and honestly, for me, like, that's an honor.
Yeah.
Like, it's an
To
honor.
to be able to hear somebody's hardest moments of their life and whether they felt like it made a benefit to them, it affected me.
Mhm,
And who knows how many other people it affects.
mhm.
I mean, something as little as just having our conversation tonight, which might be our lowest viewed episode. But hopefully something one of us has said, and it could just if it affects one person and helps them out in any way, it's worth it.
Yeah,
And yeah, everybody's goal that does something like this, "Oh, I wanna be able to retire and I do this full time." I don't.
yeah.
Give me an hour or 2 a week to come in and talk to somebody, I'm happy. I don't need to make money off of this. Like you said, if it's just 3 of us sitting in this room and for whatever reason we decide to put headphones on, that is perfectly fine with me too.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No, I'm all in on this thing, and I think we've done, Cody and I went there. I mean, this is the reason we're doing this podcast is for the people, but for me, Cody, you can speak for yourself,
mhm,
but for me, I'm doing this podcast more for myself.
yeah,
And I hope it affects other people, but I'm doing this for myself because, like, life is real.
mhm,
Life is hard, life is tough. People go through struggles, people go through things nobody even pays attention to.
yeah. For me, it's a lot the same. I mean, it's cheaper than therapy. You can have a shit day and come in here and listen to somebody else, and it
Mhm.
it helps make your day better. It's cheaper than therapy, and it's probably cheaper than going to the bar. And it's better for my
Yeah.
marriage by not going to a bar.
Yeah.
Coming over here, if I told my wife, "Man, I had a real bad day, I'm going to the bar," or "I had a real bad day, I'm going to Cam's to
Yeah.
do a podcast," I
Yeah.
know which one she would choose every time.
Yep.
Not knocking anybody that goes to the bar.
No, no.
If that's what you wanna do, then I support you.
Yeah.
Please don't drive drunk, call me, I'll take you home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, everybody's gotta have some way to decompress, and for me, it's always been football and fire and
Mhm.
all these other things, and now it's this.
And that's the thing, and, you talked about marriage, and so, coming out of this, I wanna thank my wife. It might take her a few months to get to
Mhm.
this episode, but
My wife, she's somewhat I can hear her start them. I don't know if she finishes them every time,
yeah.
but she starts them enough to be like, "Oh, yeah, I listened when you talked to Weston and you guys said this. What about the other hour? What else did we talk about?" I don't yeah. But
But
one of these days, we oughta bring the wives on.
yeah, we're gonna bring the wives on.
Somebody has to babysit Dusty and Trey because
Yeah.
Trey would be an animal on here. We don't
Yeah.
need him.
We're gonna do a kids podcast one of these
Yeah.
days too, down the road, but no,
But anything my wife says does not anything I've said that my wife calls BS on, I was 100% honest
yeah,
the way I
yeah,
remember it.
yeah.
I am old. I have a bad memory.
But I wanna thank our
Mhm.
wives. I wanna thank my wife. I wanna thank your wife
Yeah.
because you're at my house right now at my
It's
phone's
almost
recording
11.
11 o'clock, and she's at home with your boy, and I wanna
Yeah.
thank your wife for letting you do this, but I wanna thank my wife for letting me do this because she knows we need it,
Yeah.
and this is what this podcast is all about, and I'm glad we're doing this
Mhm.
together, and I'm glad, people are listening, whether it's 10 views or 200 views. 10
Yeah.
views is 10 views of people that are
And
listening to it, and it's affecting them,
out
I
of 10,
hope,
if
and
yeah, if we can affect 10 people, that's enough.
yeah.
And I had the same. I wanna thank my wife. She puts up with a lot for me. I mean, on Mother's Day, I was at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, I know, I drove by it with my wife,
Yeah.
and I look over, and you're over there in the skiddy cleaning up
Yeah.
the stalls, and I'm like, "What in the
Yeah.
heck is Cody doing
Yeah.
over there on Mother's Day?"
I've got a good one.
Yeah, you do.
She puts up with a lot,
You do.
but I think she knows if I sit at home all day every day, I just drive her nuts. So
Yeah.
maybe it's a break for her too. She'll just go to the fairgrounds for an hour.
That's how I am, dude. I'll go on a
Yeah.
week-long work trip, like,
Mhm.
out of state, be gone. I'll come home, I'll be like, "Alright, like, let's get our stuff
Yeah.
and go do something fun." She's like, "Why don't you just wanna be home?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Because that's not how I'm wired."
Yeah. I don't mind being home, but now that I work from home a little bit, I really think I threw a wrench in her whole schedule because it'll be like, oh, I just worked out 4 days or whatever. I'm going to take an hour lunch and
Yeah.
work a little bit later.
Yeah.
Let's run to town and let's go do this. I'm still working. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Just because your schedule's a little bit flexible today doesn't mean that mine is.
Yeah.
And then on Thursday when she doesn't work, that's her day to clean the house.
Yeah.
And she'll yell at me. I'll get up out of my office chair and walk to the kitchen and she just mop the floor and like I just really mess up her schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well, at the end of the day, I think Cody's on the same board, and you can say you're a bit too, but from me, anybody that gets on this podcast, I hope you feel comfortable. And I hope everybody listening to this podcast knows that we're never putting anybody down. We're trying to never say anything offensive.
mhm,
If it does offend you, I apologize. This is supposed to be a real and raw podcast. If you don't agree with some of the stuff we do, I hope you'll skip that one and jump to the next
mhm,
one and try it again. Um, but this podcast means more than me than just microphones and headsets and a recording. I hope it's affecting somebody deep down out there. I say it's not about the views, but, I want it to have a lot of views because I want people to hear it. And I
mhm,
hope you guys subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, follow us on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and catch us in person. My favorite thing is I walked in the dang grocery store and somebody walks by and I'm like, "Hey, I listened to your podcast today." And I'm like,
yeah.
"What?"
Yeah, it's kinda cool to get that text randomly in the middle of a day. "Hey, I
Mhm.
just listened to your podcast. It was a great episode."
Mhm.
From people that I didn't expect to listen,
Yeah.
but something made them listen and they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could just be lying to me, which if you are, continue. But, yeah, and I hope we affect somebody in
Yeah.
some hopefully for the good.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, you can't make everybody happy. We're gonna have a guest on the show at some point that it's not gonna be a fit for everybody.
Yeah.
But just because it doesn't fit you doesn't mean we don't wanna talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Because if it affects you, it might in a bad way, it might affect somebody in a good way.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna pick and choose by that. We're gonna in my mind, we'll bring on anybody that wants to talk.
Yeah, if you wanna talk, reach out to Cody or I,
Mhm,
reach out to our Everyone Has a Story page, and again, I just wanna reiterate what Cody said again because it's like, I've been there. I have people I haven't liked in my life,
mhm,
you know, and just because I don't like them 'em doesn't mean somebody else
yeah,
doesn't either, and so, take it with a grain of salt. We've had some messages from people saying, "Hey, why would you do that guy? He's a piece of
mhm,
crap," and it's like, he might say something that you guys don't know
yeah,
that's affected his life, that's affected what's gone on between you two or whatever. So, even if you don't like him, I encourage you to listen to him
yeah.
because you might learn something
You
new.
might learn something you don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that don't like me.
Yeah. Me too.
and that's fine. There's
Me too.
people out there I don't like. I mean, it's a small list. I like most people.
Mine's probably a large list of people don't like me, but
But, I mean, listen, do you really know me, or did you judge me off of one thing that I might have said or
mhm,
done? You just don't know. I hope everybody listens. I hope they share it with people that they feel like it can make a positive influence in their life, and hopefully we can get a lot more people lined up, and this continues for a long time.
yeah.
I need it. It might just be you and I sitting in here talking.
You know what? Screw it.
I need it.
And I know Jackson will be here anytime
Yep.
we want him to, so
I mean, after work, and I went down to the fair and
yeah,
got home in time to shower and talk to my wife for a few minutes, and I came over, and
yeah,
this is what I needed for the week.
yep,
But
yep. I always end with, remember, everyone has a story, but truly,
mhm,
you know, everyone truly does have a
yep,
story, and what you see on the outside, it's goes back to the old adage is never judge a book by a
yep,
cover. And I feel like you could take those words of never judge a book by cover and literally put everyone has a story in it
mhm,
and have it mean the same thing because you never know what
yep,
somebody's going through. You never know what they've dealt with in their life, and you never know what somebody needs. So
mhm,
try, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Cody's not perfect. You know, we all go through BS,
mm,
and and it's hard. It's hard to be like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna look past that." But I
mhm,
do encourage people, including myself, to look past it and try and see the good because
yep,
that's what this is about. So,
and if you're sitting there listening and you feel like you have something, reach out.
mhm.
As small as you think it may be, it might make a huge impact on somebody else.
Yep.
I mean, I never thought I'd be the guy that anybody wanna listen to, and they might not be on this podcast ever listening to me, but I'm gonna say out of the 14 episodes, I've affected at least one person.
Oh, yeah, I think we're hitting about 250 per episode right now,
Yeah.
so
I
I
think there's one, and it might be my wife, but it counts. She is a person.
yeah,
That is one
yeah,
person I affected.
yeah,
And hopefully, it just continues to grow. And I want people to come in, and I wanna hear their story.
yeah.
If nobody else does, I don't care, I do.
Well, and I want all of, like, our friends and family and people we know
Mhm.
to come in, but, like, if you have no idea who I am and no idea who Cody is, but you have a story,
Yeah, let's
freaking
hear it.
reach out. I'm stoked to meet you. I'm stoked to get
Yeah,
you on our episode. Like, get on here. Reach
yeah,
out to us.
and it'll be honest. Good, bad, ugly.
Yep.
It's we don't edit. I mean, a minor bit just to match everything up, but
Yeah, just pauses and stuff, but whatever
yeah.
somebody says on here, that's what they say, and don't judge them for that.
Mhm.
Whatever they say, that they're human. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
but
mean, outside of the cops gonna come arrest somebody in here, it's all
yeah, 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 yeah.
we're not gonna incriminate anybody, but and I mean, we just did the commissioner podcast, and after the election,
Mhm.
I think, just my own feelings, and maybe some listeners would agree, I think we bring the gentleman that won back on
Yeah.
and get, maybe Commissioner Stewart or some of the city council, and maybe figure out how to do a live so we can get some live questions coming in from.
Yeah. Yeah, we're learning.
I mean,
I'd love to
yeah.
do a live, my phone records, but
Mhm. I've got
set
my
your
phone
phone
over
out for
here.
a live
Yeah.
and I
S
do wanna say one thing on that before we end this. I mean, I know we're kinda dragging this on, but try not to judge the people that jump on our podcast. I mean, people are themselves. We
Mhm.
did just do the county commissioner candidates, and I know politics can get heated,
Yep.
but, I'm just gonna flat out it takes some cojones to get out and run for county
Yeah.
commissioner. It is a heated position. You're the fair board chairman. You're gonna get
Mhm.
a lot of heat. There's the fire commissioners. There's
Mhm.
there's the sheriff. There's the mayor. There's city
Anybody that's in
councilmen.
the
Like
public eye.
people get a lot of
Yeah.
heat. People get a lot of heat, and it's okay. Like it's great to have an opinion.
Mhm.
Have one, but try not to be vulgar
Yeah.
with your comments
There's
and vulgar with
a
your
time, a place, and a way to come
yeah
about it. Like, I know this is my first year as fair chairman. I know in August, that 3rd week of August, there's gonna be somebody that's gonna absolutely hate everything there is to do with
mhm,
the fair. And I'm not saying I'm the top or any like, there's a whole fair board that works dang hard to put that together.
yeah.
But if they send one to me and there's a complaint, I'm gonna listen to you. We're gonna try to work it out. But we talked about this, I don't remember on which one. We have an open meeting.
Yeah.
If you have thoughts and ideas, and the commissioners have open meetings, and
Yep.
there's ways to voice your opinion before they go to the boiling point of throwing shade at somebody.
Yep. Yep.
Let your voice be heard before it causes an issue. And maybe that could be what part of an episode is you just need to come on and vent and talk, and we can turn it into an episode.
Yeah, that's all this
But
is. I literally,
yep.
Cody got here. I've been,
Mhm.
I've been stressed. I'm the stressor
Mhm.
between this relationship between
Yeah.
Cody and I, and so, and we're running short on a podcast. And yesterday was Mother's Day, and I was railing Cody. I'm
Mhm.
like, dude, where are you at? We gotta do a
Yeah.
podcast. And he's like,
Mhm.
dude, it's Mother's Day. Leave me the heck alone.
Yeah, but then he finds out I'm at the fairgrounds.
But but anyways, I mean, like Cody's here. Like I lost my train of thought on that. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is just be real, be raw. Come on here. Again, okay, I found my spot. Here we go. But Cody and I come in the room and like we sat down and we're like, what are we gonna talk about?
Yeah.
And here we are. I'm looking at the timer and we're at an hour 35 minutes.
Wow.
And it just flies by.
Mhm.
Like the first 5 minutes, ask Trish Montez. It took me 4 months
Yeah,
to get her to get on here, and she
and
had a lot of fun. And she
mm,
sent me a text after we recorded it, and I was like, "Hey, thank you so much. Like, thank you for putting me
yeah,
on. Sorry to call you out, Trish. You're a great person, but like it's okay to be nervous, but come on here. It might change your
yeah,
life." And even Cody and I, Cody and I have known each other for 4 years. And honestly, like, I'll be honest, I'll be blunt. Maybe Cody didn't feel this way, but like the first 4 or 5 minutes of this, it's like, okay, like,
mhm,
are we gonna get this motor started? Are we gonna get it going? And here we are, like, just
yeah, hour and
rambling.
a half in,
Yeah,
driving everybody nuts, ready to end the episode, but
yeah. We love you guys. We
yeah,
love everybody listening to us. We'll go ahead and end this one, but please follow our pages. Please
mhm,
subscribe. Please, more than subscribing and following our pages, reach out to us.
yeah,
We like to hear from you guys,
yeah, the
and
good, the bad, I mean, if you have an idea that we can fix,
yep,
let us know.
or what we can do better.
We're learning this as we go.
Yeah,
It's not perfect by any means, and it never will be.
no, it's not.
There's
And
always
it's not
something we
supposed
can
to
do
be.
better, but if the sound comes off bad, if whatever, let us know.
Yep.
In our eyes, we're doing the best we can, but maybe you see something that we can fix and let us know.
Yep.
But more than that, I mean, besides telling us all our downfalls, reach out to be on the podcast. Reach out to come and have a conversation with
Yep.
us. And
Yep.
it doesn't need to be at 11 o'clock at night on
No,
a
it
Monday when
doesn't.
everybody
It
works.
doesn't. And it does
Yeah, our schedules are flexible-ish.
right.
We'll make it work.
And it doesn't need to be an hour and a half either. It doesn't
Yeah.
need to be 2 hours. It could be 30 minutes, and it could
Mhm.
be the best podcast
Yep.
of somebody's life. So, you guys just we all have a story. That's what this title is. I'm stoked to have Cody on here as a partner, and lucky to have him around, and we're just gonna keep rolling this thing. Give us your feedback, and we all have a story, and
Yeah,
that's that.
that's it.